The present state of public service delivery is far from ideal and even unfortunate in many areas and aspects. The Second Administrative Reforms Commission of 2005 held public hearings in many states to understand the public view about reforms in the governance system. Some of these public grievances are as follows. Rampant corruption plagues most of the systems, like police stations and tehsil offices. Files in government offices do not move without bribes. Negligence of duty is widespread, and officials do not comply with time schedules of attendance in office and while meeting people. Cumbersome procedures complicate getting necessary certificates like income and caste certificates. Lack of acknowledgements for the complaints filed further reduces transparency in the system. Lack of informational channels on how to avail benefits leaves citizens in the dark and helpless. Senior citizens are often harassed by the officials instead of being heard. Lack of disciplinary action against this, even after reporting them to higher authorities, demoralizes people and encourages malpractices. Poor regulation by the Vigilance and Anti-Corruption Department to check corruption in government departments further widens the trust deficit. Of course, this is only part of the picture. This is what the public sees as the intended recipient of service. Even for those who are willing to serve faithfully, there are many institutionalized and deeply entrenched barriers to effective public service. Here are a few common ones. Service systems have been designed in a way that is bereft of love and compassion. There is a general lack of access and outreach programs to remote areas and populace. The general top-down approach creates unnecessary restraints in effective public service. The poor cannot access even the free public service because of lack of awareness. There is a general information gap and lack of awareness about the best practices. There are many barriers caused by vested interests and intermediaries afraid to lose control. Corruption causes the benefits meant for the underserved to get accosted by the elites. There are many psychological barriers such as fear, favor, uncertainty, and pressure. There are geographical barriers as well as language barriers in delivery of quality service. Many unconscious biases exist between providers and receivers of public service. We are now aware of the many public grievances towards the state of public service as well as the multi-dimensional barriers to effective public service in India. So, who or what is the problem? And what is the solution? There is no one single straightforward answer. A system that is inherently flawed perpetrates inequality and injustice in a vicious cycle. Systems that have deeply embedded biases tend to serve one class and ignore another due to socio-political and historical reasons. Victims of injustice are less likely to believe in the system and, in fact, more likely to become part of the problem. In such a scenario, merely providing equal access to resources is not enough. The unfavored classes still remain at a disadvantage because of the historical harm. Support systems are often not designed keeping them in mind because they did not have a seat at the table or a voice in the vote. For example, free access to books or technology will do little to serve people who do not have the required literacy or aptitude to use them. Going one step further than equality, we have to focus on equity. Additional customized support to disadvantaged, marginalized communities can put them in a position to actually benefit from welfare policies. Here, the need for empathy and compassion in practice becomes more evident. Public service providers need to be aware of and sympathetic to the specific needs of each community and individual they serve. But excellence in practice is not enough. Policies have to be changed as well to rectify historically crooked systems to move away from bias and prejudice. When the system treats all subjects fairly, objectively, and affectionately, that is true justice. Such justice can only be achieved by inclusivity. People must partake in shaping and implementing the policies meant to serve them. Indian interpretation of justice is Lokakshema, or global well-being. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhavet. May all beings be happy and healthy. May all beings witness noble things. May none ever suffer. As long as anybody suffers injustice, both policy and practice have failed to live up to this ideal. Governmental reform measures can work only when public servants act with humility, compassion, and love towards each and every community. Action alone cannot undo the grave wrongs that have hurt and harmed our society for centuries. Even intelligence combined with action can only bring about short-term solutions. For long-term solutions, public service needs compassion that guides the intelligence to crystallize into action. It's the only way to inspire confidence and reduce the trust deficit between the state and the community and build collaboration. India needs people lovers and not power lovers as administrators right now. Civil service members have to forget temporary personal gains and become instruments of true social justice and nation building.